So guys, in today's video I want to speak about the TAC deploy beacon, which belongs to Seraph as one of her abilities. Now, there have been loads of complaints from the community about bad spawns in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and there are quite a few things that seem to be peeing the community off, snipers being one of them. Now, I will say this again just to make it very clear, I am thoroughly enjoying this game and I want it to be as successful as possible, but there are things that we can suggest as a community that should be looked into or fixed. Now, let me cast your minds back to anyone who's played Modern Warfare 2 in their Call of Duty career. You had the TAC insurgent in that game, and what you found was free-for-all lobbies where it was just infested with boosters and cheaters trying to get challenges done, often affecting your game directly to be a less enjoyable experience overall. The TAC insurgent itself was heavily used by players who like to snipe and get into particular points in the map where they could basically stay there if their TAC insurgent wasn't destroyed. Now, whilst it's a good idea in a way, it is the perfect way for somebody who wants to exploit the game to exploit the game. And in Black Ops 2, Treyarch actually went as far as removing the TAC insert because all it led to was teams trapping people in game modes like domination in their spawn and just literally obliterating people. Now, whilst this made great entertainment on the likes of YouTube, it obviously wasn't an enjoyable experience for the individuals who were on the receiving end of this. But for Treyarch to actually actively take this out of the game, it kind of showed their feeling and the community's feeling towards the TAC insurgent. So let's move forward. Now we have a game where the TAC deploy, TAC insurgent in quote marks, is back in the game. The difference with this TAC insurgent is it's not an individual's choice to use this. Well, it is an individual's choice, but what I'm trying to say is it affects the entire team. Now, when somebody chooses to deploy a TAC beacon, it will automatically make you spawn on that beacon unless you go down to auto spawn. Now, this is bad for gameplay for a start because most of us, when we die, just want to respawn instantly. That has been one of the trademarks of Call of Duty, especially if you play game modes like this. Search and destroy is obviously different, but that affects the spawn logic in the game. Now, people are already complaining that these spawns are bad in this game. Now, that is here nor there for me. Apparently, Treyarch have data to show that their spawns are pretty good in this game, and a lot of people believe that they get shot in the back constantly in this game, and it seems to me like everyone seems to be overlooking the culprit here. It is the TAC deploy beacon. Now, the one thing I've noticed the most when I play Black Ops 4, when I get shot in the back, you can almost guarantee that the adjacent team, the opposition, has Seraph on their team. And basically, you've got to think about it. There is a degree of spawn logic in this game, and effectively how that works in a nutshell is when you spawn, you're not supposed to spawn if there's enemies within the vicinity very close to you. Now, if you actually put the TAC beacon down, this actually hurts the spawn logic to a degree because now it's forced to make spawns that are probably not going to be legitimate and protected spawns. Also, on top of that, you think about it, I've stood in a game next to a TAC beacon and killed somebody on the opposition team, and I've just stayed around that TAC beacon to see what happens, and lo and behold, what will happen to you is you will get bomb rushed by the enemy. You'll just have a constant stream of enemies returning at you until that TAC deploy is destroyed. Basically, what I'm trying to say to you here is if a TAC deploy is in your vicinity, you better believe that people are going to spawn on you. There is no alternative to this. Spawn logic pretty much goes out the window. The TAC deploy is a tactical insurgent for a team. Now, if a TAC insurgent has broken so many different titles in Call of Duty, then why would you create a specialist ability that gives an entire team the ability to use attack insertion at free will? And never mind just having attack insertion, yes, you don't get it granted every time you spawn, but it's granted enough times in the game to absolutely break game modes like TDM. Now I understand people are boosting with this, from my knowledge as well, to get challenges done, so we've just brought back people who will exploit anything in a game and given the ability to exploit the game. On top of this, we also now have people manipulating spawns in domination again and trapping people just to get 150 kill gameplays. Now if you're a good player, you'll be like Marker J, you'll be able to achieve those sort of things without abusing something like the attack insurgent. For me, it's just a game breaking thing that should never have been introduced into the game in the first place. It's such a bad idea. As if this game isn't hectic enough with the fact that they've introduced specialists and then given the specialist abilities. Back in Black Ops 3, it was you had the power weapon or you had the ability. In this game, they thought, to hell with it, let's just make a chaotic game, utter chaos for everyone, we'll give both abilities. I can't tell you the amount of times I've gone on a streak and I've been killed because a shock drone has got me or a dog has got me. There's just so much stuff in this game, it's quite overwhelming. But the worst thing by a million miles for me is not being able to predict the movement of my enemies. This is where the tac beacon just destroys this game and makes it so much chaotic than it should be. I think every other thing in the game I can deal with. There is a counter to a degree, but having people just shoot you in the back after you have thoroughly, meticulously planned your route is just such BS. It's unbelievable and it's not good for the game, in my personal opinion. So Mr. Tracky, you're suggesting that the tac deploy beacon should be removed. What do you suggest you do with Serif's ability? Well, one of my subscribers, he suggested that a SAM turret would be a decent replacement. Now, it does make sense to me. It would be an ability that people would probably use that don't want to run rocket launchers. Me, I'm not really for anything that's going to shoot down my hard-earned streaks. However, a SAM turret didn't actually get used that much in Black Ops 1, but it was effective when it did get used, and I believe if it was a suggestion and it was implemented, it should only get the 2 rockets. If the 2 rockets, because they can miss, they did used to miss, if the 2 rockets didn't destroy the air support, then that's it, you're out, and you're gonna have to wait till your next SAM turret comes out. For me, I would go down the route of something similar to combat focus from Black Ops 3. Now, I know Crash gives you extra points when you use his golden bullets from his ammo packs, but he serves another purpose. For people who don't want to run scavenger, Crash will be the person that is a godsend to replenish your bullets when you're running low and you're on a big streak. So he already serves a purpose, so having them golden bullets give extra points is great. For me, the specialist ability I would give Serif is combat focus again, but instead of it lasting the 30 to 40 seconds that it lasted in Black Ops 3, I would only allow it to run for around 8 to 10 seconds. So you've got 8 to 10 seconds to get those kills, but I wouldn't allow it to grant double points as it previously did. What I would do is let it grant around 1.5 times the amount of points that you get per kill. So if you kill somebody and it's 100 points you're getting for it, then I would allow you to get the 150 points. I wouldn't allow any assists off it, like when you tag somebody and they get 100, because that would start pushing it into the overpowered tier. I wouldn't allow that. It'd have to be a direct kill from your weapon, and anything that you kill. So if you do kill somebody with armor on, then you will get the 1.5 times points for that particular kill, but only kills that come from your gun, and that would last 8 to 10 seconds. And obviously if you were shot in that time, it resets and you just got to wait for the timer to go back up again. That's what I would suggest for Serif. Guys, let me know down in the comment section, if the tac beacon was removed from the game, what would you replace that ability with? Guys, there are many buttons you could hit, but the like and subscribe button, I hope they took your fancy, and as always guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace.